The Cavaliers head off to Huguenot for some varsity football afternoon action, and Clover Hill would receive the opening kickoff with Justin Carter making the return, coming back to the Cavalier 25, where the defense of the Falcons proved to be strong and held off the offensive drives of the Cavaliers. The Falcons would put points on the board early as Zach Burkholder got the bad snap on the punt, and the Falcons took over on the Cavalier 10, scoring on their first offensive play with the pass into the end zone. The Falcons nailed the extra point to go up 7-0. Carter again made the return for the Cavaliers, then gave them a little more breathing room with a catch and a 10-yard run. Josh Bailey calls his own number and puts the Clover Hill drive across midfield. But the next play ended the drive, and Huguenot recovers the ball after things go amiss in the snap and the exchange. Huguenot drove downfield, while the Cavalier defense tried to find a foothold against the push of the Falcons. It seemed every break was going the Falcons' way. The Falcons able to move in the air and on the ground. Finally, they would force their way into the end zone, get another score. The only high point so far for the Cavalier faithful would be the blocked extra point attempt as Chris Smith deflected the ball. It would be Josh Bailey linking up with Brandon Hayes on Clover Hill's next possession. But once again, the Cavaliers were stopped at midfield, and then Zach Burkholder's punt was blocked this time, giving the Falcons the ball inside the Cavalier 20-yard line. The Clover Hill defense stood to the test this time, forcing the fumble and getting the ball back for the Cavaliers. But on the next play, the Cavs returned the favor. The Falcons took the ball back and ran it up the middle on their next play. The extra point attempt also good. The Falcons lead by 20 with just over a minute left in the first quarter. The coaching staff of the Cavaliers looking for something to turn the team around, and they would find a little help as A.J. Clanton returned the Falcon kick back to near midfield, but a penalty pushed back the Cavs, and 3 plays later, it was Bailey getting picked off, once again forcing the Clover Hill defense onto the field. The teams now played a game of give and take, with the Cavaliers finally winning the upper hand and forcing the Falcons to punt away. The Cavaliers would take over on their own 25, and Bailey would find some success early, zipping the pass out to Sean Cavanaugh. After that, Bailey just found the turf as Huguenot added to their sack total on the night. After the punt from Burkholder, Huguenot's Abner Johnson used his arm to hurl the Falcons down the field, topping off his drive with a 38-yard pass play to add 6 more points to Clover Hill's deficit. And after the extra point, the Cavaliers looked stunned as they were down 27 points with 5 minutes left in the half. A.J. Clanton once again revived hopes for the Cavalier sidelines and stands. He would bring the kick all the way back to the Huguenot 30-yard line before he was brought down by the defenders. The ball now goes to Brandon Hayes, who drags Falcon defenders with him as he pushes his way down the field. Bailey next finds Jonathan Bottoms on the sideline, and Clover Hill finally gets deep into the Falcon territory. Bailey again looks to the sidelines for Bottoms, and he finds him. Bottoms scoring on a 27-yard pass play. Zach Burkholder would tack on the extra point, and the Cavaliers now have 7 on the board. The defense of the Cavaliers get motivated on this drive, and with the stops by Josh Orcutt and others, a good crowd of supporters watch on as Brandon Hayes returns the punt for 38 yards. Then Bailey tried to move his team further down the field and managed time as well. Bailey hit Sean Cavanaugh to set up the Cavs for a long field goal attempt. Burkholder goes for a 40-yarder but comes up about a yard short as the first half comes to a close. The momentum Clover Hill gained at the end of the first half took a serious blow on the first offensive play of the Falcons in the second half, as a 62-yard pass play again found 6 more points for the Huguenot cause. The Cavaliers got the help of a bad snap to stop the extra point attempt, but the Cavaliers still faced a long hill to climb. Clover Hill made no headway on their next possession and punted to the Falcons, who found no luck in the air with strong defensive plays by Chris Smith, and now with stops by Zach Haynes, Stephen Drake, and other members of the Clover Hill defense, Huguenot's cause came to an end. They would be forced to punt away. Brandon Hayes gave the Cavaliers good field position on the return and added on to that yardage with a couple more runs, as well as the reception off Bailey's pass that carried the team inside of Huguenot's 20-yard line. And then Bailey finds his target and sends the ball downfield to Jonathan Bottoms, who steals the ball away from the Falcon defender to get his second touchdown of the night with Burkholder's kick good. The score now set 33-14. The Falcons found a riled-up Cavalier defense at this point, with Hunter Hoke and Josh Orcutt stepping up with the big plays to force the punt from the Falcons. The Cavaliers now look to have regained the momentum as Bailey finds Bottoms, again moving the ball down the field. Bottoms with 6 receptions on the night, but the Falcon defense made the big play when they needed it, picking off the pass from Bailey. The Clover Hill defense was not ready to roll over and play dead just yet. Josh Orcutt made the big stop as the teams headed into the final quarter. Huguenot's Abner Johnson went with the big play, throwing downfield to put the Falcons in position to threaten once again. Johnson tried his luck at the air again, but this time it was Chris Smith coming up with the ball, taking the interception for the Cavaliers and running it back downfield 60 yards. Although most of that yardage would be taken away on a Cavalier penalty. Josh Bailey goes to Jonathan Bottoms over the middle to get the Cavalier drive moving. It was just after that Bottoms decided to get his close-up with the camera. Bottoms and the camera okay, but the Cavaliers were forced to punt away once again. Their defense come through, though, with Leodiac Thomas drilling the running back behind the line of scrimmage. Then Thomas and Spence Brennan stopping the running game cold. The Falcons are forced to punt as the Cavalier band tries to keep the fans upbeat. The Cavaliers get another shot to put points on the board, and Bailey finds Bottoms to move inside the 30. And the Falcons, again, it seemed as if the Huguenot defenders had Bailey's number. The interception gives the Falcons the ball back on their own 25. The Cavalier defense steps up, stops Huguenot's drive, and after a pass interference call, the Cavaliers move inside of the Falcon 15, and Jared Chaplin comes down with the reception and the touchdown. Jennifer Johnson's extra point attempt was blocked. The Cavaliers watch the clock run down on their 4th loss of the season. Huguenot 33, Clover Hill 20, with the Varsity Cavs traveling to Manchester next.